This is the Tokyo Butter 23 sneaker channel. Tokyo Butter 23 sneaker channel です。毎日アップするので毎日見てください。Every single day I'm dropping you quality content without any mistakes and no flubs or anything. And I do drop you content every day. And when I do make a mess up in a video, I don't edit out. I like to leave it in there. A little bit of the human side to YouTubing. And recently got the screen back here, and you've probably heard me talk about it in videos over the last couple of weeks. There's a lot going on in my life and in the channel, and to keep up with those daily drops, I'm having to be a bit creative, and the reasons for that are all in the link down below. Click that link if you want to know why I'm in front of a green screen and not my usual style of taking videos. But for now, we're going to get into the subject of today's video, and it's a bit of a controversial one. I think controversial is the right word for this. I want to give you my opinion of the Nike Air Max 1 Betsy Ross scandal. As I said in the introduction, I want to give you my opinion of the Nike Air Max 1 Betsy Ross scandal or controversy or situation or whatever you want to talk about that. I want to stress before I do this, as far as I'm concerned, my channel is a safe place, and it's a safe place for people to give different opinions. And I give my own opinion, and I'm quite strong in giving my opinion on my channel about shoes and sneakers and just telling you how I see it. But I'm open to people challenging my opinions and commenting down below. I don't mind it one single bit if people drop a comment down below that opposes my opinion, and we discuss about that. That's fine. I think it's important to have dialogue, and it's important to have differences of opinion. And I was saying the other day to my mum, as you know, she's in town for 7 weeks, and I was saying to her that one of my things that I really appreciate is that you should have strong beliefs that you hold loosely. And by that you mean you're passionate about things, you believe in things, you have things that you're passionate about and that you follow and that you want, and dreams that you hold on to. But when they're challenged and when there's a reason to change your opinions and you get some new information, you don't hold your opinion so tight that you can't change it. It's important, I think, to have strong convictions and strong beliefs, but hold them loosely so that you can change them if you find new information that challenges what you think. So when I give you guys my opinion of the Betsy Ross situation with Colin Kaepernick and Kaepernick. I probably should know how to pronounce that properly, but and the whole Nike situation, how they pulled that sneaker, and my opinion of that, I want you to remember that you're welcome to challenge it. I'm not afraid of people saying that they have a difference of opinion and telling me that they disagree with me. But if you do that, be open to dialogue about it. Don't just hit me up with a comment and sort of blank me out and say I'm not going to listen to you. It's a dialogue. This isn't a monologue. If you want to engage in a conversation with me, it's a dialogue between two people and not just one. So please be ready for that if you're going to hit me up with a comment down below. And the other thing is, you have to remember I'm British. I've only spent a short amount of time in America. I did get my graduate degree there in Arizona State in Flagstaff in Arizona, so anyone Flagstaff represent. So I have got some connections to America, but I've never really lived there, and I don't know that much about the culture like in a deep way. So what I'm going to talk about is my opinion of the shoe and the situation that arose in there, but it's not a wider reflection of my opinion of American culture and American society, because I do not have the knowledge or the experience to make that judgment. So I want to be really clear about that up front. So, and then for anybody out there who doesn't know the situation, oh gosh, did I remember to say subscribe to the channel at the start? I probably didn't. I don't always forget that. I'm so old, I sometimes forget that. But do subscribe to the channel, please. I'd appreciate it. And as I'm here in Japan, I do often say that in Japanese, where I say Toroku onegaishimasu. Okay, that out of the way, let's talk about it. So what's the deal is that the Nike had scheduled to drop a pair of Air Max 1s, Nike Air Max 1s, in a very classic OG colorway, but they pulled it because on the back of the sneaker, and somehow up here I'll be showing you this with a green screen or screenshot or whatever, they pulled it because on the back of the sneaker they had an American flag. Now my understanding is that American flag was the original American flag, and it's called the Betsy Ross because Betsy Ross is said to have, I think this might actually be urban myth that she didn't actually do it, but she's said to have sewn the very first American flag with the stars and stripes, but instead of having the stars in a rows, I don't know how many rows there are, but there's a total of 50 stars right now to represent the 50 states. I think, again, correct me if I'm wrong, and then there's 13 stripes, which I think represent the original states, perhaps. So the stars and stripes start like that, but the original stars weren't in a grid formation in rows up there in the corner, they were in a circle. And was it 13 stars and 13 stripes to start with? I'm not sure, but I do know it was a circle. Originally, the flag had only positive connotations for America and American independence, as far as I know. Again, correct me in the comments down below if I'm wrong. But then, throughout its history, it became a symbol of other things, less tasteful things, darker sides to society, and things which are considered widely to be inappropriate. And I think I'm safe in saying that. These are the things we're talking about. I think we're right in saying we're talking about racism and things like that as well, that the flag took on a new meaning in its history. And then Nike decided to put it on the back of these OG colorway Air Max 1s as part of the July 4th independence celebrations, taking the original history of the flag and putting it on the back of the shoes. So that was what they were celebrating. And here's my opinion of this situation. Okay, I think I've explained it clearly enough from my understanding, which may be wrong, and I'm welcoming that comment down below if I've made a mistake and misunderstood something. But from my understanding, that what's happened here is that the shoe that was supposed to celebrate the July 4th American independence from the UK, where I'm from, so we won't get into anything about tea drinking at the moment, but the flag on the back was meant to represent that, and that's why it was coming out. But then Colin Kaepernick got involved and said to Nike that he felt offended by the shoe because of its later history, because of the flag's later history and what that represented to Black America and the culture that he represents and he feels passionately about. Now, my opinion on all that, whether or not someone should say their opinion and have Nike pull a shoe, whether Nike should or shouldn't pull a shoe or not, my opinion on it is that Nike should not have put the flag on in the first place. Okay, that's my opinion on it, because I think what Nike were doing, or Nike as I'm told that Americans call it, I'm British, we call it Nike, forgive me, but what Nike were doing, my opinion is what Nike were doing is they were trying to straddle two camps. They were trying to straddle the right, that's the left and the right of American politics and please everybody with a political flag. You have to confidently say it's a political flag because it represents America and American history and American culture and American independence. And they chose a flag that they thought would appeal to the right and the left equally. And I think Nike were wrong in that. That's where I think the problem is in the whole thing, is that they shouldn't be putting shoes out there like that are politically charged in the first place. Nike is a shoe company, an international shoe company, and I don't think that that Nike should be taking sides, as it were. I like my companies to be neutral and to not offer an opinion or a say either way in something. They should be neutral, and I believe that that they should bring out shoes that are just neutral and they don't sway one way or the other. And I think their mistake is that they tried to appease both camps and to sort of get into bed with both camps. And for me, they shouldn't get into bed with any camp, and they should just be down the middle and neutral and not try and get involved in politics in any way, shape or form. So for me, this whole Betsy Ross Nike Air Max 1 July 4th colorway situation should never gotten off the drawing board. I don't think it should ever gotten off the drawing board and into production, and that's the problem for me. So that's where I stand in that argument. Okay, I think I left that in there. You probably just heard a bunch of beeping and then I fast forwarded it. And I think it was this video I said at the start of that I leave in the flubs and stuff. And I'm going to leave that in there. I was just interrupted by somebody coming into my room there, and you could hear the beep, beep, beep of the security code going on the door. And it's amazing. I'd just gotten finished talking about the Betsy Rosses, and I was just about to wrap the video up, so a couple more seconds and we'd have been done. But anyway, that's my opinion about the Betsy Rosses. I don't think it should have gotten off the drawing drawing board in the first place. I don't really see Nike as a specifically American company. I see it as an international company, especially given where shoes are made by Nike, for example, and what goes into getting them transported around the world, and the international nature of the company. So for me, they shouldn't be getting involved in that kind of stuff, and it's definitely not a good idea for them to take that kind of stuff and get it off the drawing board and into production. So the fault, if you ask me, lies with Nike, and that's my opinion. And if you disagree with it, I really appreciate that. I don't have a problem whatsoever. I really appreciate it when people talk to me about their opinions, and we agree to disagree sometimes, or somebody tells me something and I say, you know what you just said actually changes my opinion, which is fine. Changing your opinion's not a bad thing. So I appreciate the dialogue, and I appreciate people checking in, and I appreciate you watching this. If you have an opinion of your own, like, feel free, like I said, to hit me up with a comment down below. Agree or disagree is fine by me. Okay, it's time for me to sign off, and thank you guys for checking in. Thank you for dropping by. Thank you for supporting the channel. And as I do say at the end of every single one of my videos, that you'll definitely see me every single day. So I will definitely see you tomorrow.